Good morning, subscribers and viewers. My name is Xolisi Ncube. I'm a journalist based in Johannesburg. Today I'm going to talk about the forthcoming march in South Africa, which has purportedly been organized by illegal immigrants, according to people who want to twist the truth from what it actually is. Uh, some of you may already have seen some videos from an Operation Dudula leader claiming that there is a march that has been planned by illegal immigrants in Johannesburg. He's given a video calling on South Africans to counter this march. According to him, this march is by illegal immigrants and is targeting South African laws. So I'll set the record straight about this because it seems that there are people who are out there bent on creating enmity between Africans, and they are doing this for their own benefit, not for the benefit of migrants, not for the benefit of South Africans, but for their own benefit and the benefit of those that they work with or those that they work for. Uh, I'm not going to beat around the bush about this because this thing has been ongoing for quite some time, and people have been led to get away with frivolous claims, with false theories, and profiling migrants based on nothing but lies. So I'll go through a poster that is purportedly from migrants, a poster that has been edited from what it actually was. Then after that, I'll go to the original poster and read it. The main poster is one that we're using as our cover on this video. So I will read this one that has been created by people who want to paint a bad picture of migrants. So the poster that they have done, which they've circulated in residence groups, one of them is 26. They have circulated it on social media. It reads March Against SA Laws, 21 March 2022. And then it gives the direction of the march from Peter Park, Corner Empire and Queens Road to Museum Africa, Hillbrow, Johannesburg, starting at 9 a.m. It says immigration laws must fall as illegal immigrants were going nowhere. Now, anyone who is normal, anyone who uses their head to think would know that there is no way anywhere in the world that people can do such. There is no way in the world that migrants, especially illegal immigrants, would organize a march and even identify themselves as illegal immigrants. This is the work of people who are just out there to fuel hate against migrants, to turn Africans against Africans, to turn fellow blacks against black. Now I'm going to read the original poster, which has been edited to this mischievous one that I just read. The original poster says, March Against Xenophobia, 21 March 2022. Then the directions are the same from Peter Park, Corner Empire and Queens Road to Museum Africa, Hillbrow, Johannesburg. It starts at 9 a.m. And there is even numbers that are given there for more information. So you will realize that the one that I read first, the mischievous one that I read first, which was coined by people who have an agenda, an illicit agenda against migrants, has edited out the phone numbers that are on the original poster. So because they know that if people call these numbers, they will be given the correct record of what the march is all about. And it even says Kopanang Africa against xenophobia. Unite Africans against xenophobia. This march is against xenophobia. But now you will also realize that these people who are saying that they want to counter this march, they want to use people, poor people against poor people, because they know that when two groups of people with conflicting ideologies or ideas converge in this, especially when you call against xenophobic people to counter an anti-xenophobic march. You are calling for clashes, street clashes that may result in injury, that may result in loss of life, that may result in destruction of property. Why are these people doing this? The reason is that they want to divert South Africans from the real issues so that they can concentrate on fellow blacks, on fellow poor blacks. Because I think some of you have already listened to Comrade Ngabuto Mabena's broadcast last week or the week before, when he said that South Africa, the disequilibrium, especially in the South African economy, is the cause of these problems that we are seeing, these socio-economic problems, because he said that 80% of South Africa's wealth is in the hands of just 10% of the population, which means that 90% of the South African population is scrounging around and scrambling for the remaining 20%. But these people who are creating all these narratives against migrants, they know this. It's not that they don't know this. Some of them attended schools where they were taught that there can be no problem in the world unless there are black people. They have been made to believe that African problems or problems anywhere in the world can only come from black people. So that's why they want to divert your attention. They want to divert the attention of poor South Africans from the real issues of saying that, why don't we equalize the economic struggle? Why don't we equalize the sharing and distribution of South African wealth? Because black South Africans are so poor because of the laws that were passed during the apartheid regime, because of the power of the economic, of the grabbing of the economic space against against black Africans. We know that there were the land laws that were passed against black people in 1913, where black people were moved from their arable land to arid land, from which they could not produce anything. When people were moved from their tribal lands to some places where they couldn't produce anything, to arid places where they couldn't produce anything. And we know that wealth comes from land. Without land, there is no way you can produce anything, because you talk about diamonds, you talk about any minerals, you talk about water, clean water, you talk about agricultural production, it all has to come from land. But because we have people who are black in terms of their skins, but white in terms of their ideologies and narratives, they don't want to hear anything that upsets the pocket or the minds of those that feed them. So they would rather turn you away from the real issues and make you concentrate on fellow blacks who are also suffering like you. These are people that claim to be like you just because they live among you. They only live among you so that they can hear what upsets you and report it to Pastor John. Then Pastor John will give them a narrative to push and divert this attention of poor people, because they know that ultimately poor people want to grab what belongs to them. And now they want to divert you from the real issues that are causing your suffering, the real issues that would address the suffering that you are in, the real issues that would address the economic disequilibrium. They will give you this pretext that you are suffering because of migrants, when they themselves are supping with those that are causing your suffering, and they're given narratives that they should drive, which divert the whole attention from the real issues. The real issue in South Africa is not migrants, because only 4% of migrants that are here are working, are employed. And the statistics are that migrants are even creating more jobs than they are raping. So at the end of the day, these people know that, but they will cite food statistics. They will cite food, the real narratives. They will cite food, the facts, just to make sure that you concentrate on fellow blacks and forget about Pastor John, who is stealing from you, who is grabbing from you. because they work for Pastor John. So at the end of the day, do not be used to kill one another. Do not be used to get yourself injured or even arrested, because those people will not even be there when you are arrested. There were people who were arrested in Alex. They need 20,000. They were members of the Dudula operation. They got arrested for attacking fellow blacks. Now they can't even raise the money that they need, just 20,000. And the people who influenced them into this are nowhere to be seen. They're organizing another match that will get people killed so that they get the next coin in their pockets. So we need to guard against such people. I said I'm not going to beat around the bush, because this thing has been going on, is still going on. People are being turned against one another, black against black. Yet those that grabbed land from South Africans, those that grabbed productive land from South Africans, those that keep the economy among themselves as the few, are sitting pretty. And they are sending even some of your own, some who look like you, to then be the ones that twist your mind, because their minds has been twisted already. These are people that should not be listened to. These are people who are not Africans, because you cannot be African and behave like an alien. You cannot. So at the end of the day, we know that in terms of African tradition, in terms of African ethos and ideologies, people look out for one another. Even these borders that we have, that we are talking about, even these permits that we are talking about, these passports that we are talking about, were just created to try and divide Africans. And then we have said, okay, we adopt these, we are going to abide by the laws that were created. Now a new narrative is being driven that we shouldn't fight for what belongs to us, but we should fight one another for the crumbs that fall from the plates of those that are getting changed, so that they drive the narrative against fellow blacks. Blacks who think white, blacks with a white accent, blacks would proudly tell you that they attended schools in Sandton, but they still live among you, just because they want you to believe that they are fighting your struggle, when in fact they are fighting their own struggle and they don't even care about you, because nobody who's truly African and cares about the people would call on the people to go on the streets and fight one another. So my appeal is to fellow fellow Africans, including South Africans, to say this march that is being organized on Human Rights Day against xenophobia is a march that is not even being organized by migrants alone. It's being organized by more South Africans than migrants, because South Africans generally are not a xenophobic people. There are just a few right-wingers who are benefiting from this, who are being paid to push this narrative, who are being xenophobic. So do not listen to them. Join the noble march against xenophobia, because at the end of the day, when xenophobic violence rears its ugly head, the image that gets tainted is the South African image, and it risks South Africa getting into international and regional and continental isolation. This is not what we want. Migrants once in South Africa want to see South Africa prosper, because it has become their home. They ran here not because they hate South Africa. They ran here because they believe that South Africa is the only shining light that we still have in Africa, and they would want that status to even grow than wane. So let's not listen to people with nefarious agendas, people who feed on human blood, people who want to see Africans killing one another. Thank you very much. I hope you're going to consider this and turn away from people who are out there to make sure that you die so that they get rich. Thank you very much.